You know those opportunities that everybody else gets? The project, the stretch assignment. We hesitate. We want it, but when we don't raise our hand right away, it's given to somebody else. Smart women miss out. We're going to talk about that today. Welcome to How to Get What You Want. This podcast is for driven women ready to claim their goals and navigate their careers with clarity and confidence. Join me as we explore real stories, tools, and strategies to help you steer your career exactly where you want to go. Let's get started on helping you get what you want. Hi, and welcome. I'm so happy that you made the decision to be here today. I so appreciate you, and having influence and impact is what I really want to do. So the fact that you choose this really means a lot to me. Before I get started, I want to let you know that I'm opening up spots for my Career Level Up. It's a group coaching mastermind where we support each other for 6 months, learn from one another, get some advisement from me. It's a great way to accelerate your leadership. So if you want to learn more, reach out to me. I would love to get to know you and to support you along the way. So today we're going to talk about smart women and how they get in their own way. They miss opportunities. I'm doing this from my perspective because I am a woman and I saw this happen to myself. So you may not be a woman, but you feel like this is really talking to you. I hope that you'll lean into that as well, because even though the research that I'm going to talk about is centered around how women get in their own way, it could go both sides for sure. So I don't want to alienate anyone, but I want you to think about, what is it about these tendencies that happen to us that may inhibit us, or they make us wait? We don't courageously move forward. And we often think that when opportunities are coming to us, it's almost like it's clearly like almost like there's going to be this board that says opportunity coming, and here it is. And then you decide, you're standing with a bunch of people and I'm going to raise my hand first. It's a lot more subtle than that. I wish it was that easy. I wish it was like, hey, do you want this opportunity? They hide in plain sight. These opportunities are things that we might not see. Sometimes they're unknown. There was this great C-level woman that spoke at a leadership conference that I was at, and she said it wasn't until she got into the C-suite that she recognized that these opportunities that don't fit finely or very specifically into one area of the business, she said, I don't know who would be the best fit for that. So I just give it to whoever raises their hand, whoever's in front of me, whoever has said to me, I want more opportunity. And I'm like, yay, thank you for saying that. Listen to what she was saying. She was saying that when you leave it up to a senior person to call on you, that is a burden to them. You owe it to them to raise your hand. Don't hesitate. I want you to really think about, are you hesitating? You might think that it's leading a strategic discussion. It's looking at a project that's losing momentum because the leadership isn't strong. Stepping in isn't always about taking over. Stepping in can also be a catalyst to help somebody else. That can increase your influence. It can increase your trust. It's not just waiting for your leader to say, here's this list of things that are opportunities coming up. I'm going to read them off and you just tell me which one is yours. Be looking for things like, maybe you want to be a part of the agenda for an upcoming organizational town hall. It might be called something else in your organization, maybe a leadership summit. What are the things that you're like, oh, that'd be really cool to be a part of? Or I would love to do that because I need that exposure, that experience. I need to present more. Think ahead. We're at a great cusp right now. We're going toward the end of the year. Think back on what are some opportunities you wish you would have been a part of. Then you can look toward the future and say, why can't I be a part of that? Sometimes we get in the way because we're busy reading everybody else. We wait for somebody else. We notice that they want to do it, or we assess their reactions. We want to be liked. We think that stepping in before somebody else may make us look like we're pushy or pushing them out of the way. Or we don't want to be too much. I still hear this from people, that they feel like I'm being too much. That's like nails on a chalkboard to me. It's not about being too much. If you feel like you're being too much, look at the situation and really assess, is that fact or is that just in your head? Just had to say that. Or we believe that somebody else deserves the spotlight, deserves that opportunity, or they were asked or approached. I remember when I went out to dinner with my boss, and I asked her why my colleague Dan got all the opportunities, and she said, "Oh, I never really thought about it, but now that I think about it, he always asks, and you don't. So he's just easier for me to give him to." She didn't even realize it. So think about, what is that? And are you creating apprehension, which becomes hesitation, and then you don't get it because you're making a pause. And sometimes we shift into these personas, like when there's a lot of pressure going on, we tend to have great radar on what is happening to other people. So we want to make sure people are okay. We want to make sure that we're helpful. We don't want to take too much airtime. We don't want to seem too ambitious. We don't want to be pushy, especially in those times where, at least I have a job. I hear that a lot too. I don't want to show up or be too much again. I want to make sure that I protect everybody around us. And this may not be the right time for me to do this. It's tricky because it's not always obvious that we're doing that to ourselves. That's why this is so important. We might be getting in our own way, and we do it so subconsciously that we don't even recognize that we're doing it to ourselves. We might have this thought that, oh my gosh, I would love to do that. But then we don't see that all we needed to do was say, hey, can I do that? Sometimes it's putting that out there. 39%, Gallup said in a poll that 39% of women strongly agree that they are encouraged to take risks at work. Think about that. Almost 40% of the women population feel like they're supported to take risks. It's not up to somebody else. Why not take risks? And listen to this. Women also report lower psychological hearing, meaning that they hesitate to speak up unless they feel 100% prepared. How many times have you heard that? Is that happening to you? We think we know it. We hear the stats, but we don't realize that it's tricky in the moment because of these voices in our head that might be encouraging us. Hey, listen, not the right time. They need to get that first. There's a lot going on. You need to do this. Like, it is subtle negotiation happening right up here between our ears in our brain. HBR research unveiled that women undervalue their readiness and undervalue their contributions compared to their male counterparts. I can hear it in myself sometimes. Sometimes I will pick a male for something to get advice or something like that, and I'll be like, why did I do that? We have these biases that are just a part of who we are, so be aware of those. In negotiation, the research shows that if you believe that the other person is more competent than you as a negotiator, your confidence will go down and your power in the room will go down because it's perceived power. So when we believe that somebody has the capability or is stronger or deserves it, we automatically decrease our willingness to step up. Are you doing that to yourself? Oh, we get in our own way. And it's so funny because it's so subtle. I remember my friend Kelly was going to speak for a panel and she goes, oh, my story isn't that interesting. And I was like, oh, Kelly, you have such a great story. That's silly that you think that way. And literally 2 days later, I was asked for a different panel. And you know what came through my head first? Oh, your story doesn't matter. I'm like, oh my gosh. I can so boldly tell Kelly that her story matters, but just in that, in the same pocket of time, I was doing it to myself. So these subtle things that we tell ourselves aren't always obvious. A client of mine, her name is Amanda. She's really outgoing. Everybody loves her. She's super smart. And her 3 peers are men, and she works for a man. They're also supportive of one another. They collaborate really well. They recognize the strengths of one another. And so I was talking to Amanda, and she recognized that her boss always gives her those assignments that are aligned with her strengths, like the ones that rallies everybody together, the ones that are coordinating, making people feel good. It's all of the things that she does really well naturally. And she loves it. She loves that he gives her and sees her strengths. But she was like, I wish he would give me the things that he knows that are uncomfortable for me, that will stretch me. And she goes, but he never will. He only sees me in this way. So he really respects her and wants to advance her. And he believes he is, or he was. So she had to have the conversation. She wanted to be more than just the glue. She wanted to be seen as a strategic partner. She wanted to be a part of stretch assignments that didn't align directly with her strengths. She wanted to know that she had his confidence. So she approached him and said, I noticed that this happens to me a lot. She didn't say, you do this to me. I noticed that people put me in these assignments that are aligned with my being extroverted, being a connector, being the glue, being the supporter, being the cheerleader. And I love that. But I want you to start thinking about how can you place me in opportunities that are not aligned with those. Maybe I don't come to mind first, but can you think of me in those times? And it really opened up his eyes to understand that he was doing that. He wasn't doing it in a negative way, but he recognized and appreciated that she came to him because he started to put her in more challenging things. I will tell you, there were a couple times where she came to me and she was like, oh my gosh, I feel so overwhelmed by this. I can't believe that he's making me do this. And then she recognized and realized that he was doing exactly what she had asked. So look at your patterns. Look at your stretch opportunities. Understand where you want to develop. She understood that he was holding her back, but there was things that she could do. Smart women need to recognize that sometimes you have to shift that. Sometimes you have to raise your hand before you're ready and understand that if you feel uncomfortable, that's okay. You can figure it out. It was so good. And now she feels so much more fulfilled. And just by getting him to just say that to her made her realize that she had what she needed to do to be successful for that project. So are you raising your hand? Are you being proactive for you? I want you to think about these 3 tips. The first one is, what are the opportunities that you want to raise your hand for? Think ahead. Be thoughtful about what is coming up in the future that I want to put myself out, whether it's presenting more, being a part of a different project with different people, being the pitch person for a new client, being the one that finds new business. I don't know what it is for you, but think about what is that? When we have a little bit of color that we've put together for ourselves, then when somebody says, I need somebody too, then that you recognize that as a stepping stone to where you want to go. If you don't do that for yourself and even put out things that you really want to do that feel really on the edge of what you should do, that's okay. Start to think about that. Start to color that for yourself because, your boss needs you to be successful in your role. Your boss isn't always proactively thinking about where you want to go in your career. You need to do that so you can raise your hand to get yourself the exposure, experience, influence to get down that path. And those opportunities in the moment might be the ones that give you that exposure, even that uncomfortableness to understand that you can do more. And then understand what is holding you back. Is it times of pressure where you think of other people before you? Are there things in your mind that you're like, well, I'm not quite ready for that. He has more experience than me. They're picking that person because of this, and this. Are you just being a quiet observer? Are you being a good soldier? Are you just being a pleaser? Those personas may be safe, but they'll keep you where you are. Who do I become when I'm nervous? When you feel uncomfortable, you become the next version of you. Embrace it. Look at where you want to get uncomfortable. And then ask directly for the opportunities you want. Think about Amanda's story. She thought about the bias that her boss had around putting her in these different places. And she shined a light on it and said, can you do this more? Can you really challenge me? She didn't make it his problem. She said, I would love to have a bigger impact in more ways. Can you put me in? Think about me, not because I'm first in mind, but when you think about, let's see how she does. Challenge me. It was so good. So I want you to think about, here's your prompts. And if you don't do this in 72 hours, this was just an entertaining podcast. You don't want it just to be an entertaining podcast. You want to take action. So in the next 72 hours, ask yourself, what opportunity that's coming up in the next 6 months do I want to raise my hand for? Just identify that. Then you can think about, who do you need to talk to about that? How can I get it? When do I need to raise my hand? But think about that. In the next 6 months, look ahead. Maybe you look at what happened last year in the first part of the year, in the 6 months that you're looking at. What opportunities do you want? Do it in 72 hours. That's not very long. That's 3 days. Do it now. If you don't take action, research proves that nothing will benefit you from what you just learned. I don't want that for you. I want you to have impact. I want you to move yourself forward. I want you to have confidence to be uncomfortable. If somebody you know needs to hear this, forward this to them. It's a win-win. It makes them understand that you're thinking of them, and it helps them think about their investment in themselves so that they can grow faster. They can accelerate. I love this topic. I think it's so important. I would love to hear what your challenge is for you. Reach out to me. Tell me what you did. How did you answer that prompt? And what action did you take? Smart women miss opportunities because they're unprepared. They don't think about this. You're a smart woman. Take on the challenge for you. Don't hesitate. Get clear about where you're going so that when you see it, you know it and you'll raise your hand. You won't hesitate. Don't forget, this is all about a negotiator mindset. And negotiation is more than a skill. It truly is a mindset. Until next time, I'm Susie. I'll see you then.